Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I want to introduce myself. My name is Daniel Neer. I am Atri's voice teacher. And Atri holds a distinction in my studio because even though he's been studying with me for the better part of a year, we met in person for the very first time yesterday at his dress rehearsal for this recital. Atri joined my studio at the height of the pandemic, and I don't need to tell anyone in this room how challenging that's been to have meetings looking into a Zoom link and the green light and the MacBook Square and the whole thing. It's challenging for teachers for sure, but it's even more challenging for students of music, especially voice students. To never be in the same room physically with a voice student is a real challenge. And I'm bringing this up because this points to what kind of a special student Atri is. And I'm sure I'm talking to people in this room that have known Atri a lot longer than I have, so if I see some nodding heads, I won't be surprised. But this is a young man who has really come to his lessons with a lot of intellectual ideas about music and poetry that's been very refreshing in my studio. A lot of curiosity, a lot of humor, which is really great for me. Music to the ears of a voice teacher and a music teacher. The program that you see in front of you is really a hybrid. There's music here that I've brought to him to study over the past year, but there's a lot of songs too that Atri expressed interest in, which again is music to my ears. I love students that come in with ideas. Atri has a lot of ideas, and that's a wonderful way to have a collaboration in a studio between a teacher and a student. It's been such a joy to teach him over this past year. So what you see in front of you is really a hybrid effort of both of us and what we've been bringing to the lessons together. After the recital, it's going to be about 30 minutes in length, I believe, with no intermission. And afterwards, we're going to be meeting in a garden. If you'll come through this way, Atri's family is throwing a little shindig for Atri. It'll give you a chance to say hello and congratulations. So, without further ado, please join me in giving a warm welcome to pianist Jonathan Riss and baritone Atri Ray.
like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow because a man is dead. I dared not speak to let this false world know. Much have I thought of life, and seen how poor men's hearts are ever light, and how their wives do hum like bees about their work from morn till night. So when I hear these poor ones laugh, and see the rich ones coldly frown, poor men, I think, need not go up so much as rich men should come down. When I had money, oh, I knew no joy till I went poor. For many a false man as a friend came knocking all day at my door. All day at my door. Vieni alla finestra, oh mio tesoro, te vieni a consolare il pianto mio. Se neghi a me di dar qualche ristoro, davanti agli occhi tuoi morir volio. Tu c'hai la bocca dolce più che il miele, tu che il zucchero porti in mezzo al cuore. Non esser gioia mia con me crudele, lasciati almen veder mio bell'amore. In diesen heilgen Hallen kennt man die Rasche nicht, und ist ein Mensch gefallen, führt Liebe ihn zur Pflicht. Dann wandelt an Freundes Hand, verknickt ihn froh ins bessere Land. Dann wandelt an Freundes Hand, verknickt ihn froh ins bessere Land. Dann wandelt an Freundes Hand, verknickt ihn froh ins bessere Land, ins bessere Land. In den heilgen Mauern, wo Mensch den Menschen liebt, kann kein Verräter lauern, wird Liebe ihn zur Pflicht. Wenn solche Lehren nicht erfreuen, verdient nicht ein Mensch zu sein. Wenn solche Lehren nicht erfreuen, verdient nicht ein Mensch zu sein. Wenn solche Lehren nicht erfreuen, verdient nicht ein Mensch zu sein. Ein Mensch zu sein.
glatten Meereswogen, worauf die
sagt es mir, doch sterb ich wahrlich gerne. Da tritt der Zwerg zur Königin, mag binden ihren Hals die Schnur von roter Seide und weint, als wollte schnell vor Gram erblinden, Er spricht, du selbst bist schuld an diesem Leide, und mir den Königtum ist hast verlassen. Jetzt weckt dein Sterben einzig mir noch Freude, zwar werd ich ewiglich mich selber hassen, denn dieser mit dem Tod gegeben. Doch bis im frühen Grab die Lühner blasen. Die legt die Hand aufs Herz, voll jüngem Leben. Die schaut von auf, die schweren Tränen rinnen, die sehnt die Himmelbetten will erheben. Mögst du nicht Schmerz durch meinen Tod gewinnen, sie sagt's, da küsst der Zwerg durch meinen Wangen. Drauf alsobald vergehen ihr die Sinnen. Der Zwerg schaut dann die Frau vom Tod befangen. Singt sie tief ins Meer mit eigenen Händen. Ihm brennt nach ihr das Herz, so voll Verlangen. Ihm brennt nach ihr das Herz, so voll Verlangen, so voll Verlangen. Keine Kiste wird je mehr times are hard and the wage is low. Oh, sailor, where you bound to? The Rocky Mountains are my home, across the western ocean. Across the western ocean. They used to tell me I was living a dream, and so I followed the mob. Where there was earth to plow or guns to bear, I was always there, right there on the job. They used to tell me I was building a dream, with peace and glory ahead. Why should I be standing in line, just waiting for bread? Once I built a railroad, made it run, made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once I built a tower to the sun, brick and rivet and lime. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, gee, we looked swell, full of that Yankee doodly-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell. I was the kid with the drum. Say, don't you remember they called me Al? It was Al all the time. Say, don't you remember I'm your pal? Buddy, can you spare a dime? Once upon a time lived a fair princess, most beautiful and charming. Her father, the king, was a wicked old thing with manners most alarming. And always on the front door mat a most ferocious dragon sat. He made such an awful shrieking noise, so all you little girls and boys beware. Take care of the green-eyed dragon with the 13 tails. He'll feed with greed on little boys, puppy dogs, and big fat snails. Then off to his lair each child he'll drag, and each of his 13 tails he'll wag. Beware, take care, and creep off on tiptoes. Then hurry up the stairs and say your prayers, and duck your heads, your pretty curly heads, beneath the clothes, the clothes, the clothes. That dragon he lived for years and years, but he never grew much thinner. For lunch he'd try a policeman pie or a senator for dinner. One brave man went round with an axe to try and collect his income tax. That dragon he smiled with fiendish glee, then sadly murmured, R.I.P. beware. Take care of the green-eyed dragon with the 13 tails. He'll feed with greed on little boys, puppy dogs, and big fat snails. Then off to his lair each child he'll drag, and each of his 13 tails he'll wag. Beware, take care, and creep off on tiptoes. Then hurry up the stairs and say your prayers, and duck your heads, your pretty curly heads, beneath the clothes, the clothes, the clothes. That dragon went down to the kitchen one day where the fair princess was baking. He ate by mistake some rich plum cake which the fair princess was making. That homemade cake he could not digest, and he moaned and he groaned and at last went west. And now his ghost with bloodshot eyes at midnight clanks his chains and cries, beware, take care of the green-eyed dragon with the 13 tails. He'll feed with greed on little boys, puppy dogs, and big fat snails. Then off to his lair each child he'll drag, and each of his 13 tails he'll wag. Beware, take care, and creep off on tiptoes. Then hurry up the stairs and say your prayers, and duck your heads, your pretty curly heads, beneath the clothes, the clothes, the